Now, as many people prepare for the Easter holidays, there have been warnings from the RNLI to take care around water. Going for a splash in a lake, river or the sea might be tempting when the sun is out, but it can be deadly, as recent deaths of young people have shown us. Our reporter Jessica Ure went out with the RNLI at Southend to find out more.
A rescue on the water is a race against time for the RNLI. Here in Southend, the station is one of the busiest coastal stations in the UK, with an average of 120 call-outs a year.
Southend are the only RNLI station to operate 4 lifeboats, including an inshore rescue hovercraft. Everyone you see here is a volunteer, and in total there are over 100 of them.
So we get a lot of people walking out in the mud that get cut off by the tide, so we have to come out and sort that out. We get quite a lot of people that have gone out for the first time in the year on their sort of personal watercraft, jet skis, speedboats, things like that. And then again, a lot of people just enjoying the water and finding themselves in some difficulty with their paddleboards, kayaks and things like that.
And conditions can change quickly. 2 weeks ago, they rescued a man from the water who was moments from drowning.
We saw the casualty clinging on to a timber former jetty post, and we were unable to get the boat in closer, so the only way to rescue the casualty was to enter the water, in which I did against a fast-flowing tide.
This is the busiest time of the year for the station, with families flocking to the coast from across the country. But it's not just the tide that gets people into trouble.
The spring tide comes in at a faster pace than you can walk. We've got some very sharp shellfish out here which will cut your feet to pieces. And once your feet are cut to pieces, you're stopped, you're stuck.
Here at Southend, because we are on an estuary, the tide does come in and out very fast. So it's being conscious and not just walking out on the low tide, but being visually aware and wearing appropriate footwear and clothing.
Going at 17 knots.
And with the busiest season approaching, there's always a need for more volunteers.
So my day-to-day job, I'm an open water swimming coach in Southend. So on the water most weeks, more so in the summer. So have a real good knowledge of how the water in our local area works. There's a number of roles, you don't have to go out on crew. There's a number of roles back at station and behind the scenes that are just as important.
We're expecting some beautiful weather over this half-term period, and the temptation might be to cool off in the water, but the conditions can be dangerous.
The advice today applies further than Southend. Know the tide times, tell someone where you're going, and if you need help, call 999 for the Coast Guard. Jessica Ure, BBC London.